What's up? Bonafide Hustler here.
Ranking Profit.
College Picker.
Cody Hawk.
And your host with the most, Mr. Paul Cantu.
Oh man, guys, welcome to the Green Room Hangout number 48. Today we have a special guest from Austin, Texas, which happens to be the Bonafide hometown, by the way. His name is Paul Cantu. We'll get to him in 1 second. I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I'm from Austin, Texas, and you are watching the Green Room Hangout number 48. I flip stuff I find from garage sales, thrift stores, pawn shops, estate sales, yard sales, swap meets, and put it on places like eBay, Amazon, antique booth, and consignment stores in town. I'm going to toss it to my main man, Rakin.
What's up, everybody? My name's Steve. I go by Ranking Profit on YouTube. Quit my job a few years back to sell on eBay. Ended up moving into Amazon, Craigslist, Kindle, internet marketing. Haven't looked back since. Love every minute of it and excited for the show. I know Paul, he's got to like this Tommy Hilfiger, man, embroidery right here. But, yeah, I'm going to pass it off to CP.
College Picker here. I started flipping stuff in college. It paid a lot of extra expenses and stuff. eBay, Amazon, do Craigslist. I actually have been focusing more on Etsy, and I work a normal job 40 hours a week right now. And it's been taking a lot of my time, so I only put out about a video every 5 months. And I'm going to pass it over to Cody.
What's up, guys? Cody Hawk on YouTube. Runs several businesses, include Amazon FBA, eBay, flipping all sorts of amazing items, internet marketing, Kindle. And we're going to go introduce our host, Paul.
What is up, guys? So my name is Paul Cantu. If you guys aren't familiar, I go by the Thrift God, not self-appointed. I sell a few things here and there on Instagram, on Kick. I mainly make videos to entertain, and I mainly wear the pieces that I actually acquire and show people how to stylistically wear thrifted gear.
Wow, what an intro, guys. So we're in for a treat for this entire hour. It looks like that Paul Cantu is here with us, and we're going to interview him and talk to him about exactly what he does. If you guys haven't checked out his channel on YouTube, you can check it out by going to Paul Cantu. Is that correct? Just Paul Cantu. Right?
Yeah, you can just type in Paul Cantu. That's the name of my channel. It'll pop up. Click on my ridiculous picture. I'm like, and then you'll be there.
All right. And, yeah, so he does live in Austin, Texas, and we're going to get to some questions that are directly from the Green Room first. Rakin, while I get into the Green Room questions, will you shout some people out that are in the feed right now?
Absolutely. It looks like we got my boy Matt Holland Hobbies in the comments. I believe he's actually a police officer, too, so don't worry. Everybody's going to be safe in the comment section tonight. We got Matthew Dresner. We have ComfortZoneStudio.com. Cool Toads. Everybody knows Cool Toads. He's been rocking and rolling for a few years on YouTube now. Looks like we got Jay Zepp. Matthew Dresner, already shouted him out. Adam Hazard from the Green Room is in there right now. Kelly Roberts. We got a lot of people in the Green Room right now. Hot Halloween Props, Fly Guy. I mean, a lot of people that are consistently coming to the Green Room. So looks like that's what we got now. I'm going to have to reload this feed. But we got a lot of people in the comment section. Pretty excited for the show tonight.
Yep, that's right. And on top of that, my secondary feed is completely messed up. So I'm running on a stupid iPad on this side of my screen here, and we'll see what I can get done. So Rakin, my main man Rakin, is going to help me look at the comments. And that's what we're looking at today, guys. If you are wanting to comment on this show, comment down below on the YouTube video that you're watching right now, and Rakin will more than likely see it. But then again, Paul Cantu's got a pretty big following, and we want to make sure that we get his, questions from his side answered and questions from the Green Room people answered. So if you do have a question for Paul Cantu, now might be an okay to just put it up. Now might be an okay time to just put it up there, and we'll probably see it. I have one question real quick that we are going to answer right now from Matthew Dresner. Is the new Green Room channel run by you guys? Rakin, you want to answer that really quickly?
Is the new Green Room channel run by, what do you mean by new Green Room channel?
All right, so there's a new Green. So basically what we're going to do, we actually formed a Green Room channel on YouTube, a specific channel just for Green Room on YouTube.
Got it.
Rakin, you got to come on, man.
Set it up.
You got to get with it, bro.
I'll tell you, I'm not used to, manhandling this comment section right now, so I'm focused on the comments. I'm trying to answer questions right now. We got Paul Cantu live, man, so give me a break, Bonafide, or else I'll come to Austin right now and show you who's bigger. But anyways, yeah, the Green Room, the new Green Room channel is going to be so we could dedicate it, all the videos, right then and there. So it's all going to be manned by all of us. It's going to be the same thing, just pretty much a new channel.
Yep. What are the chances that Paul Cantu will come by on our new channel one day? What do you think, Paul?
I might be there. I might make a guest appearance one of these days. We'll see.
Oh, that's a good answer because you live in my town. If the answer was anything but that, I'd come over and you know what. Anyway,
What? No, I
now
don't. Wait,
let's.
please inform me. What exactly would you do?
I'm
Super
surprised I
duper
haven't seen this guy thrifting. Yeah, you're from Austin, Texas. I'm really surprised that we haven't crossed paths. That's like very, very odd to
We're
me.
both Goodwillers.
When I watch you, well, as Paul Cantu calls the Goodwill, what do you call it? You don't call it the Goodwill. You call it something else in your videos. What do you call it?
All right, so Goodwill has a couple of aliases. It's either Trill Will or Goodwin Williams Jr. It actually was Goodwin Williams the first time I went. Then I went to another one. That was the junior. We got the second one, got the third. We have a whole lineage of Goodwin Williams Jr.'s in the state of Texas. So, but usually I just go by Trill Will. It's easier to flip off the tongue, and it has a nice little rhyme scheme.
Okay. So if you guys are watching Paul Cantu's videos on YouTube, you probably know exactly a little bit about him, his swagger, and like how he conducts his business. But there are some questions that are originating from the green room to you, Paul, about kind of the business itself. So we're going to go right into those right now because I actually give priority to the green room peeps. Got 4 questions real quick for you. Paul, what are some of the best hats, like the snapbacks, that you like to buy?
Well, actually, I rarely find snapbacks in thrift stores, but I like finding vintage splashes such as this one, chartreuse, and obviously like scripts. However, I usually just look at the fit of the hat overall, as opposed to like the exact type it is. So if a hat just fits really well and looks dope, usually I'll cop that, buy it. For all the viewers who aren't familiar with this jargon that I'm speaking right now, but yeah, I mainly like finding hats with like interesting, crazy designs. However, I don't find too many of them. The best I found was at University of Texas at Austin Splash, which looked like this for $1. One of my personal favorite hats because that is the college I attend. Hence my beautiful dorm room right here. But yeah, essentially just scripts, chartreuse, and splashes.
Very nice. I think it's very, very cool that you're into the thrift game while you're a college student. I got to tell you that, man, because lots of money and fun and, I guess, fame and just really good experiences come from thrifting, I think, especially now that you're on YouTube. You got a channel with how many subscribers right now, by the way?
Right now it's at 61,000. It just got 61 today, so 61,000 as of right now.
That's awesome.
That is
Dang,
awesome,
man.
dude. I followed you at like 2000, and I watched your video, and I was like, how does this dude have less subscribers than I do? Like, his content is way better edited. Your personality is a lot more out there than mine, and just the stuff that you find. And it's been phenomenal to watch how many videos. Like, you make so many videos, I can't even keep up with a full-time job. So.
Dude, let me ask you, Paul. How many hours a week are you spending? Would you say making videos? Because I tell you, I've just started to get into like editing. Like, literally, I've made 500 videos on the YouTube video editor. I've been saying before, and like it's so amateurish. I've been starting to edit, and it takes a long time, man. You got sound effects. You got these crazy transitions, man. Like, what kind of time you spending, man? Because I'm like, geez, this is high quality stuff.
I actually like never sat there and recorded the amount of time that I've spent, but I am in class like 8 hours every day except Friday. Then I work a job as well, so it's pretty much anywhere in between. But for a trip to the third video, it can take like an hour and a half to 2 hours at times, depending on how many sound effects I'm using, the amount of footage I have to cut through. And then I actually started editing lookbook style videos to show people how to stylistically like rock thrifted gear and make it look good in combination with newer pieces as well, to show I can mix and match old with new. And those take a little bit longer as well, because once again I am putting in like really like nice transitions, getting the shots well, matching up the edits to the beats of the songs, things of that nature. So
Yeah, your videos are a lot more artistic than a lot of videos that I see on YouTube that are thrift related. So that's one thing I do enjoy watching about them, is that it's like your video is your canvas, and you just like paint the picture for people. You have really, really good transitions, like you said, and good angles, and like really good director and editing presence.
Yeah, the thrift videos definitely aren't edited like really that well, aside from the sound effects. It's just like vlog style, where I pretty much have the camera, I'm just going throughout. Some people have actually told me that they think I'm short because I like hold the camera close to the clothes. So I've seen a couple people in the stores that are like, "You're way taller than I expected," yada yada yada. I'm like, dude, what'd you think? Like, you see me in my other videos, but it actually is kind of funny the perspective that the like camera can give to the viewer. So pretty interesting.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna run into you. I'm gonna run into you one day, man. For sure. I already
You
know
wear a
it, man.
cape?
We got another question in the green room. How often do you thrift?
I honestly don't go out because I've ran into a couple people who also like do a lot of thrifting and reselling, and they'll like say crazy things like I hit up like 20 stores today. I went to like 10 stores. I went to like stores all across the city today. I actually only stop in stores when I'm in the area usually. So like I'll go to Home Depot to get some supplies to build an art project with or something like that, or like go pick up a friend. There's a thrift store nearby. Just stop in. So it's pretty much whenever I'm in the area, either mailing something or just like picking up something from the store. That's when I'll stop in. But like dedicating a day to actually make a video, I usually go to like 3 stores like once a week. I'd say like 3 or 4 stores once a week, and then like sporadically if I'm in the area. But I don't ever like set aside a large amount of time to just go in and go thrift. I used to do that at the beginning, but it actually is more like it's easier for me personally and more convenient just to stop in whenever I'm in the area.
Okay. Real quick, we're going to toss it back to the YouTube audience, and I saw a really interesting, funny kind of question. It was, how does one become flyer than a feather?
In any type of weather. All right, so to become flyer than a feather in any type of weather, there are a couple of crucial steps. Number 1, just be you. Just embrace the eagle that is within and fly into the wind. You feel me? No, I don't know. I just pretty much just do you, be whoever you want to be, wear whatever you think is cool personally on you, and as long as you're a genuine individual and you embody like who you are and what you wear, then honestly people will think you're cool regardless of like if you're wearing what's hot and what's not. So just own up to who you are as a person. You can be fly than a feather any type of weather.
I like that. I
Very
like that.
nice. Good.
I got a question from we got another question in the comments from Oscar, and Oscar asked Paul, how did you get started on YouTube, and how have you been able to balance school and thrifting? And I know we kind of been talking about that a little bit, but is there anything specifically you do to be able to balance your life? I mean, do you have like a to-do list, or do you just kind of fly in the wind and see what happens?
I'm like a wing it kind of guy.
Actually, I like the what I project. I actually like have a lot of planning behind everything. So I usually have my videos planned out like a week and a half in advance. To be real, I don't shoot them like that soon, but I have to like have goals so I stay motivated to like release each video at a certain time. And that way I can stay on track and at least put the ideas out there into the world so I remember and like can refer back to where I want to, or to when and where I want to release the videos. In terms of balancing, I am in school so long, so when I just get out, like usually I get out late, so I'll just like hit up a thrift once again if I have to get something, as I said before, to reiterate. So it's just essentially stopping by whenever I have the time and just being like casual with it. Like it's not about like people. My friend actually gave me the nickname Thrift God, which is completely ridiculous because I actually don't find as much stuff as a lot of people I see on like social media and like throughout like Instagram and like on Twitter and such, and you guys probably find way more like a variety of like items than I do. I just mainly focus on clothing and apparel. So like actually that's a bit ridiculous to like even like attempt to presume that like persona. But yeah, man, I just stop in whenever I can, once a week, twice a week, whenever I'm in the area, and that's how I find like cool stuff here and there.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Thrift Angel.
Very nice.
Swag Lord. That's another one.
All right, so let's see here. Here's from Christopher Zagara. What's your best and worst sale? Like, what's your best pickup? Oh, let's put it this way. What's your best pickup, and what's your worst like item that you traded with somebody, or you were like, this thing's not worth anything. Like, you just traded it off, or you sold it off. Like, what's the best item you found? And what's the worst item you found?
Well, the thing with me is I usually don't even try and like resell things. That's not why I got into thrifting, because once again, like I would go on websites looking for like cool stuff, and it seemed to be overpriced in my personal opinion. So that's why like I never really wanted to sell things. And when I see things that aren't necessarily my size or like are cool, but I know I won't wear them, sometimes I actually leave them at the thrift. But one of my best finds was actually a Como de Garçon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right because I don't like know all the lingo of other like countries. I don't speak French. But it was a $10 designer polo shirt, and it's worth $195. That's probably one of my best finds. And I actually got it at Buffalo Exchange. So if you guys are into thrifting, you guys know already that they charge a lot on their items. But whoever like priced that item somehow managed to let it like slip through like the overseer's eyes. And so when I got it and took it to the register, they were really shocked and just like appalled at the fact that Paul managed to get that for such a low price. In terms of the worst thing I ever sold, I I don't. Someone wanted to buy a jacket that actually didn't have like a zipper and was pretty distressed, and I let them know like what was wrong with it, how it's pretty beat and wasn't in great condition, and they still wanted to buy it just because like they liked watching my videos and they wanted the item. So that's probably the worst thing. I usually don't try and sell anything that I personally wouldn't purchase myself. So. Yeah.
Now, talk to us about this website that you have in the works, because you're getting hit up from Instagram from people that really like your picking style and you're picking the right things, and people want to buy some of these things. So you're creating a website soon to kind of make things easier for you, or how does that? What's going on this website build that you're doing right now?
So for I'm not sure like exactly who's watching this right now, but for all of my younger audience, you guys know what Kik is. It's basically a messaging app where you can message someone without having their phone number, which is what I use. Therefore, like obviously, because I don't want to give my phone number out to a variety of people, not knowing what they have to say. So basically, on Instagram, I'll post pictures of like items I have, or people will ask me like what's for trade. And through this Kik messaging app, I actually have been getting overwhelmed by messages. I always try and respond to my viewers and comments as much as I can. But like as of right now, I have like 164 messages in Kik. And it honestly is like really awesome and really like cool when people just want to say like I really appreciate the videos. I've gotten really amazing stories about how people have been going through hard times and have seen the videos and it made them happy. As ridiculous as that sounds, I'm just going out there and being highly explicit and vulgar and just thrifting. But a lot of people do want to buy items and do want to trade for items, but it's really hard to conversate with each person when you have like 164 people like messaging all of them, then working out trades, sending pictures. It's a bit of a heavy like task for one dude to behold, especially if I work and go to school. So essentially I am working on creating a site where everything will be on there, pretty much be really fairly priced. Like obviously I need to make a little bit of profit off it, but the only reason I'm making the site is because I've ran out of space in my room and I just have so many items that like I've acquired that I think are really cool personally, but I just don't have the room for them. So that's pretty much like the main reason why I'm making the site. I don't really do it to like make a living off of. That's kind of like what I use YouTube for, like per se, is like really to like make the cash that I need for like side spinning and saving up in order to like achieve my next goal. So yeah, I'm not really the biggest reseller, but I'm making the site purely out of like necessity as of right now.
Even though you're not reselling, I want to make this point because you have such a big audience that's driving it's driving traffic to thrift, like to people that like that style, that want that one of a kind, that like things that are from that era, or might have been the team from that championship back in the 90s or whatever, that you can't get today. It's not the same quality. It's not this, like when you wear something from that era, it has like a spirit, like an essence about it. And you cannot get that from anything that was made in 2015 and 2014, any of the modern stuff. And you're driving people to that movement, regardless of if you're selling or not. Like people need to understand that. Like a lot of our audience, they like to buy to sell. Even though you buy, sell a little bit, you're still driving people forward to the movement of the thrift.
And that's one thing that I actually have started like dipping away from actually is because there were a few YouTubers back in the day who mainly were about the vintage clothing movement, and by vintage I mean like 90s gear, which necessarily isn't even that vintage, but that's what it was called. And essentially like right now I'm wearing like what you would consider like that vintage look, and you know, like a starter jacket, like a Logo 7 hat. Things of that nature. However, in a lot of my videos, I pick up streetwear. I pick up items that I don't even know necessarily about the brand. It just looks good on me. So it's not even about being this like 90s kid if you're not a 90s kid, because a lot of my viewers are actually a bit younger, so they weren't even around during that era. And I was like born in '93, so I didn't even see some of like the amazing things that happened before I was born. I was a young child while Michael Jordan was like dunking on people. So it actually is hard for me to like even project that I am this like one image. So I really like showing people to just, you know, obviously thrift to their personal preference, mix in the new with the old.
Very cool, man. I do have a question for you, Paul. Since that you were born in 1993, I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to think really hard. What is the best video game system, or what's the one that you grew up with and you're like, that's my system, I know that system?
It actually is weird. I barely ever play video games. That's like I played when I got into video games. It was a PlayStation 2, to be honest. While everyone was like on the Nintendo 64 and stuff, I remember watching my cousin just playing the 64. But I rarely play video games. I had a PS2 for a while, played it for a good amount of time, got a 360, and then one day I just realized that, honestly, in my personal opinion, I didn't want to be spending my time on video games when I could be using it to like make art and just like better myself. Like I like it for like the bonding, but other than that, I rarely play video games.
Well said.
That's crazy.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It is
Yeah,
a big waste of
I would.
time. They are fun, though.
What'd you say, CP?
I said it is true. They are a big waste of time. You can be bettering yourself in an artistic way and an intellectual way, writing something. But it, like you said, it's good. I bonded with my brothers over it. I have 3 brothers, and we played video games growing up, and it was a bonding thing for us. So.
Yeah, like I'm not knocking anyone who plays games by any means because they are fun and are super like addicting. And I always like when I'm with my friends, we always are like on the systems, just like playing games. Good way to bond, a good way to fight, a good way to like get your boxing and taekwondo skills down and get crushed by your cousins on air mattresses as I experienced in my youth. But yeah, man, like I don't really play video games all that much to be honest. So.
That's
we got
cool,
a comment. We got a comment from Mr. Shoe Guy. This guy is cool as beat. He is a chill ass dude. Great hangout, guys. Had to throw that in there.
Thanks, bro. Shouts out to you. What is it? The shoe guy?
Mr. Shoe Guy.
The shoe guy. Simple, clean, minimalistic. I love it.
He's in the green room, man. He is like the shoe aficionado. I think he sold every shoe out there. And actually, I have another question that's related to shoes from Sealand13. How many shoes does Paul actually buy in release dates or at Sneaker Shoes? Does he cop shoes a lot besides thrift?
I like never ever go for any shoes that are newly like released. Like that, I'm not the biggest sneakerhead. I never was. If I like advocate for any brand, it's gonna be Vans and Adidas because that's what I grew up like rocking. I'm a big soccer player, so it was like indoor soccer shoes was what I wore like predominantly in high school because I just always be like playing soccer either indoor or outdoor. I got into like sneakers recently. My first pair of Jordans I actually purchased when I was a freshman in college actually. So I don't go for any of the releases. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. It's overpriced, and I find Jordans at thrift stores, so there's honestly like no need for me to spend an arm and a leg waiting in line to purchase brand new, overpriced, low quality shoes.
Well
Yeah, that
said.
makes sense.
Yep. I got another question for you, Paul. Did you know about the green room before we approached you to be on this interview?
I actually did not. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. There's one thing about my personality. I like keeping things like 100, 1,000 honest with everyone. So no, I actually didn't know about it, but I was familiar with your channel as I mentioned before we went live. So it actually is funny because I watched some of these guys way back in the day, and it's pretty interesting how everything came full circle. But I was unaware. But definitely while I'm working on some art and doing some cleaning of my thrift room, I definitely will have some of those episodes on for sure.
So Paul, I've seen quite a few of your videos on you've redone shoes, you've done art. What type of art do you actually do?
There's when it comes to art, I pretty much do everything. I really like woodworking. That's my favorite thing to do. I built that little closet right there. I built this custom like snapback storage rack with tinted glass out of maple and walnut. It's not actually in here because I don't have that much room. I do painting. I paint on clothes. I actually make clothes. I know how to sew. I video edit.
Wow.
I know how to do some photography. Photoshop, Illustrator, I know as well. So pretty much anything in the creative realm, I do because I'm a guy that's about creating my own world as I want it to be. And whether that be like through dressing, like cutting my own hair in crazy ways, making clothes, just whatever it is, I like being a do-it-yourself kind of dude. So I pretty much just use my artistic skills and my knowledge of tools to just create my own world, literally and metaphorically speaking.
That's awesome, man. That's amazing.
I got a question about the dorm room. Do you have? Are you really in a dorm? Like, was it a joke, or are you seriously in a dorm?
Oh no, this is a dorm room. This is a dorm.
That is awesome. Are you in a suite, or are you sharing it with somebody?
I don't share a room. I'm actually a resident assistant, which I haven't said because I'm a bit explicit.
You are the coolest RA on the forum, or the whole RA in the building, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm an RA here. Yeah, I'm alright. Some people they're a fan. Some people are. But yeah, I'm an RA here in one of the dorms of the University of Texas.
So do people that, if you're an RA, do people know your channel as being an RA or no? Do they have any idea who you are?
I actually don't tell too many people. I just kind of start doing that, but people will like discover it. Either they'll be watching a shoe review or watching a video on YouTube and then actually find out I make videos.
Pop up with your face like.
Yeah, which is pretty funny. Or they'll follow me on Instagram and just be like, what do you do? And like one girl yesterday was like, do you sell shoes? And usually I'm just like, I'm a rapper. That's what I say. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. Like that's just like my generic answer to people. Is like I rap, but I like never do. And there are a couple people in the building that are convinced I'm a rapper, which is pretty funny. But yeah, people just find it out organically most of the time, or they'll send me editing a video and like ask questions, and I'll let them know. But I don't usually go around just like telling people because I figure they'll like figure it out in good time when it's like big enough, and it's more motivation for me.
We got someone
Have
new.
you ever been? What'd you say, Raken?
We got someone new who just came in the room. Who is that guy?
What's up,
What's
guys?
up, Young? What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, Paul?
What's up, son? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Marinating.
Gonna go play some football? I see what you got on that rack beside you.
Oh, man, you like that, huh? That's
You
Jerry
run the
Rice.
combine? What'd you run?
There's Jerry Rice right there, autographed.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Let me show you that.
Well, my claim to fame, honestly, Paul, I'll tell you right now, because I went to the University of Texas at Austin as well. I graduated, of course, a while back. I used to play Sunday morning flag football with Ricky Williams and his girlfriend and some other people.
Dreadheaded Ricky? That's awesome, man.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's Jerry Rice, the GOAT, greatest of all time.
That liquid goblin gold signature.
So Raken, let's go to that comment feed right now because I asked all the green room comments right now, and let's see. I think I have the comment feed now on my this computer, so just bear with me. Let's see here, Mr. Shoe Guy. Yeah, he likes you a lot. Do you ever sell your art?
Do I sell art? Occasionally, when people want it, I do, and that's what also is going to be on the site are like custom pieces and some art as well. So I'm going to be building some installations actually to shoot videos in with like one-of-a-kind pieces and have those potentially be for sale on my site as well. Sometimes I do when people request it, but that's not what I predominantly focus on as of right now.
What kind of art you talking? Are you painter?
Yeah, I do painting. I do woodworking. Pretty much whatever people want. I do Photoshop designs for people and like sell them that if they want to like post that on their Instagram or whatever. But the art that I predominantly sell are like paintings, so that's what I sell, if any art.
The Native American in neons is that one of yours?
Yeah, I painted that guy right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tupac up there too, also, right?
Yeah, I built that right there. Yeah, and then I have Tupac that I painted right here as well. I have so much art just everywhere. Behind all those clothes is a giant like anaconda strangling a crocodile, all made out of wood. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you've come up with some crazy stuff, man. It's all straight from your head, like no hallucinogenics or nothing, right? Like straight.
No.
That's awesome.
I try to stay drug-free as much as possible.
That's so awesome. Where do you get the inspiration for your art pieces?
I just want to see ridiculous stuff that I think is bad. Beep. So if something like I just think of ridiculous ideas that I've never seen someone make, and that's what I want to create. So this is basically a sketch that I did of the crocodile getting strangled by the anaconda, and it's all made out of wood back there. So
That's sick.
just like ridiculous things I come up with in my head, and I want to see come to fruition. So.
So let me ask you this, Paul. What kind of advice would you give somebody that's just now starting a YouTube channel that might be fearing, like, oh, I'm kind of scared of what comments might end up being like, and they have a really interesting personality to begin with, right? But they don't want to put it out on YouTube just yet, and they're starting their channel out. What would you tell some people that have great personalities, but they're just not bringing it to YouTube? How can you help those people? What do you think you would tell them?
To get on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're already on YouTube, they got a channel that's going, but it's just lacking enthusiasm, or maybe they are really great people in real life, you know, amongst friends, but they get on YouTube and they're afraid of the comment feed, they're afraid of getting negative stuff going on. What would you tell someone like that?
I mean, you just can't care what anyone has to say about you. I mean, that's the bottom line. You have to have enough self-confidence in yourself to just go out there and stunt and put your personality out on the line. I have seen a lot of people in real life, or people that I've met, that actually are like really cool in person, but like it gets lost in translation through the camera. So one of my really good friends who also started thrifting is Jacob Starr. He has a YouTube channel as well. You just type in Jacob Starr at Star Life Media. But essentially, like we hung out. I went to California. We went thrifting it up. That dude has a really awesome personality. It was just getting lost in translation. So I just like told him, I was like, dude, you just got to bring your real self to the table. And that's what anyone who like wants to make YouTube videos basically has to do, is be real. Honestly, not everyone's gonna like you, and it's super hard to like get noticed. And also, like in terms of the comments, I've gotten a bunch. I have a thrift video with like 500,000 views on it. It has like 500.
Yeezy's at the thrift, right?
Yeezy's at the thrift video.
Oh
and I was actually dressed up. Like the way I was dressed, like I never thought that video would get that many views. And the way I was dressed was hated on. So many people think that I'm trying to be black. That's what I get a lot. Like, quit trying to be black, when I'm actually from a predominantly black community. Like that's where I'm from. I'm from like an urban, like more inner city type of like community. And so that's why I speak in the manner in which I like articulate myself. And so it's pretty interesting that people like say things like that, and usually I'll just roast people like back in the comments, or just, and not even like talking crap like, you shut up man, that's so offensive bro. Like it's basically just like intellectually destroying someone is what I'll say it is, but also being like comical at the same time, because I don't really want to make anyone else feel bad, but it's just like kind of funny responses. Sometimes I'm like, I am, or like just like really simple things here and there. So you guys can check out that video if y'all just want to read comments and be entertained by the banter.
I've read some of those, dude. You got some mad hate on that video, but it was.
Yeah, I got major hate. That's the most hated on video, and honestly, I kind of embrace it. I think it's funny. So I don't really get too offended at it. I think it's funny, and at the end of the day, those videos are actually like the comments actually help me because they drive more traffic to the video. So I like responding, getting little like disputes, or even have people argue in the comments for me, because that essentially just drives more traffic to the video. So.
Argue away.
Do people actually, when you're in a thrift store, do they look? I mean, do they look at you kind of funny because you're making fun of clothes? You're setting a video up, but you're doing a lot of dialogue in a store. Do you get looked at kind of weird, or do you ever get told like, put that camera down? You're not supposed to have it in here.
I mean, I always get like people like, I just blatantly record in thrift stores. Like I'll go, like that's the thing that a lot of people have a problem with, like making YouTube videos, is being like seen recording themselves in public. I got to the point where I'll just record and turn and be like, yo, what's up man, to the dude walking with his wife like browsing some Salvation Army. I'm like, what's up sir? Or I'll just like walk in the store and like be cool with the employees. One of them like I actually like talked to, and he was telling me about how his wife was pregnant, and like he's afraid that his kid might have Down syndrome, and like all these tests. Actually, it's kind of crazy. That's a bit like detailed. But like I go, like people see me and like look at me crazy, and I just honestly just brush it off and think it's funny. And then sometimes they'll like walk in the camera, and I'll like record them because they'll like want to be on it, or they'll just be like saying funny stuff. So it's things like that. But I always ask them if they want to be in the video. But yeah, it's actually pretty funny. It's a bit uncomfortable at times when the stores are packed and you're like going in there with the camera, because yeah, there are people looking at like making crazy facial expressions at you. But overall, it's like a good time, and I kind of embrace it. Like it's just like another thing that like who else would do that like blatantly in front of people? And I would. That's pretty much how I live my life. If what everyone else isn't doing, that's what I try and do, as long as it's like beneficial to my life. So.
Have you ever been
Do you ever
ridiculed at a store?
What? Which question?
Sorry, man. Go ahead, Young.
No, I was
Go
gonna. It seems like you're always gonna love thrift stores. Do you ever like hit up garage sales?
I used to hit up garage sales a lot. Like when I first started my channel, or got serious about it, like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, it might be now. I had an episode called what was it called? Like garage sale grabs or something like that. But I would go to a lot of garage sales. But it's just very hard for me being a college student to like wake up on the weekends after long Friday nights of studying.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man. Like I don't go to garage sales too much anymore, and a lot of times they wouldn't really have anything, but when they did, like it was really awesome to find. But where I was from, I'd have to drive like back and forth, and I think it'd be a little bit easier in Austin. But I haven't ever like gone garage sale shopping recently, but I probably will start doing it in the summer once I get back into it.
Okay.
Cool. We do have a kind of a request real quick. Paul, how good are you at being put on the spot?
What do you mean?
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, how good are you at being on the spot about something completely uncomfortable?
I know what this is going.
You can say it. I'll see if I'll answer it or not, depending on how controversial the subject matter is. Well, I mean.
Okay. This is what we're looking for, because we have a comment in the feed here that says, and this is just because your videos are good, from Nike Boxes, rap battle, Steve Rakin versus Paul Cantu. So,
Yes.
all right, so here we go. Let's entertain this real quick, and we're gonna put the
Oh, we got
topic
a rap?
of we're gonna put the topic of goodwill. Okay, goodwill and thrifting in general, and you get 30 seconds to spit a rhyme to Rakin, and then Rakin gets 30 seconds to spit a rhyme back to you. All right?
Hold on, let him go first. I don't know if this is a segment in the video that's happened before. So I need time to get my bars in line.
Rakin, how good are you at being on the spot?
Oh man, I mean, I think I can make it work.
Yeah, and it's like you're totally enclosed by snow outside of your place, right? So a rap battle is exactly what you need, right?
Yeah, let's get the heat up. Let's turn it up a little bit. Someone drop a beat.
All right, Rakin, you ready?
I guess I'm ready.
All right. Topic is thrifting, and topic is thrifting and goodwills. 30 seconds. Start whenever you want to. Say whatever you want to say.
All right, let me start off this rap. Let me kick a rap. I like Paul Cantu's fitted cap. If anyone want to step up, I'ma trash it. Yo, Paul, how much you spend on those glasses? Maybe $10 or maybe just 20. I'm just playing around with you. I'm just trying to be funny. I told you that I kick raps like I'm hiring a palace. I got to shout out that fitted cap. I really like Dallas. Oh man, you get now the beat, man. You got to drop the beat for me. Let me get in it, yo.
Oh,
If
good
it
God.
breaks down, I swear that I rebuild. Yo, I got a lot of cool stuff shopping at Goodwill. I just stuttered, but I get back because I'm smoother than butter. Because I told you, yo, I'm a cutter. I'm a freestyle right now, and I'm never gonna stop. Because when I go to Goodwill, I get the stuff that is hot. I spend a little bit of money, and my bars are so dope. After I go to Goodwill with the prices, it's like I'm so darn broke. That's all I got.
That was pretty good.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Paul's up. Let's just see what he's got. 30 seconds. Go.
I have a
Alright.
feeling I'm gonna get killed right now, but I'm
All right. Let's all be quiet. Let's let Paul
embrace it.
talk. All right. Everyone hush. Go.
All right, y'all ready? Hold on, somebody play the beat or something, man. I need something.
What's the volume on the beat?
This is not gonna be to the beat at all. Hey, what's up with it? All right, rolling up to Trill Wheel. Put grain on the wheel. Foot on the dash, on the gas, I got a mash. Man, I came through. It's your boy Cantu, ripping my set, and yes, I ride candy blue. White on the hat, yes, it's a splash. Man, what's the deal with grain on the dash? I came down like the damn town. Man, hold up, it's your boy Trill Wheel. Yeah, I gotta win. Yeah, I gotta whip it. Man, the price is so high. Man, I gotta dip it. Man, I'm dipping out. I gotta leave the store. Man, what's the deal raking? This is a snapback, not a feed. Man, I didn't want to cuss. This is the green room. Either freaking way your boy about to pop a shroom. Nah, JK, I don't do drugs. All I do is blood slugs and hug pugs in the store. I don't know if it's
All right.
That's all I got.
Wow.
He will.
I don't really.
Okay, so we're gonna. No, this is just between them two. So the real winner will become people out there in YouTube land. We want you to actually comment right now who won that rap battle. Let us know down below. And while you're actually commenting down below who won the rap battle, make sure to like the video. Yeah. So like the video if you like cool guests that we're bringing on. Blah 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 blah. We really appreciate it. Yeah, very nice, man. Some people are going crazy in the actual comment feed right now on that rap battle.
I don't have it up live. I need to do that. I'm sure it's gonna be really funny because I don't ever rap. It's gonna be really funny.
Dude,
That
that
was
was
awesome.
awesome, man. I loved it.
Both did
I
great.
think you got me. I'm giving it to Paul right there, man. I tell you right now, you know what? Paul had the flow, man. He had the rhythm. I'm throwing myself under, man.
You were more smooth with it though. You had like that old school vibe to your rapping. Like
When
you
I
said,
was-
like you were
Both
straight
did
up.
awesome.
when I was younger, it's funny. When I was younger, I was really into hip hop and rap battles and stuff. Believe it or not, and it's like when I freestyle with someone, like it goes into a battle. Like you know how like people just try to like kick freestyles or get in a cipher. Like it always turns into a battle when I step into it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I
Like,
didn't
I'm
start
going-
raising you up. I was like, bro, it's a snapback, dude. It's not a fitted.
I
man.
know. I heard that. You got me
Jesus
right.
Christ.
You
Jesus.
got me right there.
Where's
Oh,
Fitted,
man.
dude?
That was fun.
Oh, wow.
What is a fitted, man? No, it was
So right now, I'm actually in the comment feed, yeah, and it looks like Rakin is slightly edging out Paul on this one. They're very interesting. We're going to have to let it go for a couple more minutes, but people out there in YouTube land, we are looking at your comments right now. Go ahead and put who won that rap battle. It's all in good fun. We understand that the Green Room show should be 99% informational, but you know, it's all about having fun as well. So one of the primary reasons why we have this guest on our show today is because his videos really embody art, if you want to call it, but having fun with whatever you do in life and finding pride and joy with what you do. Now, the interesting thing about what Paul does is he actually finds these really interesting relics of, you know, clothing finds in stores, and then he finds a way to mesh the video together to where you are looking at the entire video and watching and learning while you're laughing at the cool stuff that actually has a market out there. Now, Paul doesn't really resell too much of his stuff, but that might change pretty soon with his website. But I find myself really enjoying that part of your video, those parts of your videos, Paul. The fact that you never know what you're going to do next. So can you give us some pointers, not really life pointers, but you know, why is it that your videos are very unpredictable in that sense? And is that one of those things that you really strive for when you're editing the video, to make it unpredictable so the people don't want to leave the video? Do you ever think of things like that?
I mean, I don't consciously make an effort to make things unpredictable, but I just like editing things in a manner that maintains the audience's attention. So a lot of times, like if you look at Vines or what the like younger generations like are exposed to, is like Vines 6-second like videos. So I try and keep the clips like quick, short, straight to the point, and not really talk too much about unnecessary foo-foo that I don't want in the videos. If it's not pretty much entertaining, then I don't really like talking about. I mean, anyone can go in a store and talk about an item, be like, this is a hat, a Dallas hat with a star, it's a splash, it's these 3 colors. Well, that's not interesting. I mean, if you say it looks like someone poured some like molten silver all the top of this like sperm whale blue hat with a little bit of a hit of cocaine on it, that's way more interesting than just like breaking it down in a simplistic way. And yeah, so it's pretty much just being entertaining, having fun with it, and being unique to yourself. I mean, like I don't like when people like try and use the same lingo I use. It's just about making up kind of your own thing and just being true to yourself and your own like life experiences in terms of like video editing and using sound bits and sound effects and things of that nature. Just use what's relevant to you if you're any future YouTubers watching this. And if you're not, what's up? You're still cool. I love you. Hug. Watch my videos.
I just got hugged by Paul from across the room. Very nice. So let's take a look now who won the rap battle, because now I think 3 more minutes have gone by. Very, very curious to see. Now, Paul, did you win or did you not win? CP won because he had the beat. That's pretty funny. Okay. Les Ahart. Sorry, Raken, but I think Paul kicked it. LA 6969 AV 247 Raken. Raken won. Cody Hawk won the battle. That's what Eagle L Philly said. Who didn't even do a rap battle. It's just Paul and Raken, guys. Henry Jr. Paul won. Paul, Cantu, Paul. Ooh, lots of Pauls now. Hey, that's crazy, man. Jamie's joystick. Raken is the winner, but Paul came in close second. Dude, Raken, look at those comments right now. I think it's like either tied or Paul got you by a little bit, man. I ain't gonna try to lie, man.
I think he got me by a little bit. It looks like he's got a few more votes too.
Yeah, no joke.
I think yours was more clever than mine, though. If I were to actually vote, I would say you until I had the Pugs line, because everybody loves Pugs.
The Pugs line, I think that put you over the top, man.
I didn't even rap for 30 seconds, though. I just stopped. So.
But once you bring Pugs into the mix, man, you know, it's a whole new game. So.
But yeah.
We have a question for you, Paul. What program do you use for your video editing? That's a good question, actually.
I use iMovie or Final Cut Pro, depending on what type of edit I'm doing.
What type of edit? What is that? So, like, wait, let's clarify that real quick, because I edits, College Picker edits, Raken is now starting to edit, and Young edits a little bit, and I think Cody. So, you know, why would you pick iMovie over the Final Cut Pro, which is such a better program? Explain that real quick.
Well, I just got Final Cut Pro from the homie Jacob Starr. Shout out to him. Yeah, I use Final Cut when I'm trying to make like a lookbook style edit with like a bunch of effects. And when I'm doing like the thrift videos, I usually like editing those more quickly, and so that's why I just like use that, because I was just accustomed to using that. That's all I used up until like a week and a half ago. I got into Final Cut Pro. So pretty much like you can do Like, as long as you can even make a lookbook style video in iMovie, you just can't really put that many effects on it. And so, like, as long as you have good shots and good cuts and it, like, mixes with the beat, if that's what you're trying to do, then by all means use iMovie or Movie Maker, whatever, like, generic software you have on your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC. Just use whatever. You don't need to go out there and spend a bunch of money on some software if you're just getting started, for any of my future YouTubers or anyone trying to make videos out there.
All right, Paul, this is about to get real. What are you majoring in from Matthew Dresner? What do you plan on doing after college? And from Brant Arnold, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Why don't you give him a few more questions?
Well, they're all kind of related, so you can, like, name the
All right, so what I major in is studio art. I'm a BFA in studio art in the College of Fine Arts at the University of Texas. I also have, like, I took a few classes in fashion design as well, so I know how to design clothes. But the fashion school is in the College of Natural Sciences, so that's why I'm not there, because I want more creative-oriented classes that teach me how to make things, as opposed to being in a biology class when I don't actually need biology to make clothes. After college, I plan on continuing to make videos. I have, if I might graduate early. I can graduate early. So I probably will do that if my YouTube channel is at the right level that I want it to be at financially, and in terms of just being able to have enough, like, sponsorships with companies in order to make a living. And then in 5 years, I probably am going to be either having a bunch of custom pieces, making a line, or launching a store myself. So that's what I'm looking at, and then obviously continuing to make the videos, because my audience is very important to me, and I could not be in the position I am in right now if it wasn't for them. So I'm going to continue with the videos for as long as humanly possible, and keep taking my edits up to a professional level, and either do them for companies or just have the companies have me make videos either with myself or with my friends in them, as they're kind of doing now. But just bigger sponsorships, bigger companies, more thrifting, more customizations, things of that nature. Just doing it yourself, making a living and living a cool life. That's what I want to show you guys how to do.
Very cool, man. So now that I go back into the comment feed, in the rap battle is now, I think, officially in your favor. I think Rakin can get the title back in on July 11th, when Rakin actually physically comes to Austin, Texas, to take you down, Paul. That's the only reason he's coming down here. It's not for a green room appreciation hangout or nothing now. It's just to come down here and take you down on a rap battle.
This was all planned, Paul. This was all planned. The reason why we invited you was I was going to battle you, purposely lose, then so I could go to Austin, Texas,
and whoop my butt.
No.
Just destroy you in your hometown. No, I'll sign you to White Boy Records eventually.
Okay.
We're gonna have it off and popping. Spring 2015 takeover. We have it dropping a mixtape soon. I-45 takeover. What's up with it?
Yeah, Young, what is up with it? What are you thinking right now, Young? You're just sitting there. What's going on?
I'm just chilling, dude. I'm listening to the rap. You know, I'm an old school guy, man. I love old school hip hop. So you know, I'm just listening to you guys flow, man.
That jazz.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these influences that you know. I heard you saying that you grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood. Let's talk about some of the influences when it comes to art, you know, movies or music, right? Like, what's some of your biggest influences that created the Paul Cantu that's on YouTube now?
My biggest influences?
Yeah, like, I mean, could you say it's a certain, like, you love this rapper because of the style, what he was wearing, the fact that he didn't sell out to, like, big record labels, like, or did you like, you know, this program over others because, you know, it was always evolving and it never sold out either? Like, what really made you you? You know, everyone can look back and go, okay, I remember I was really into that kind of music, you know, this type of programming. What made you you?
I'm trying to think of my biggest influences. I don't really know. I just made a decision. Well, it's pretty much when I started my YouTube. I was working a corporate job at an insurance company, 9 to 5, and I just could not, like, honestly stand it. It was like, this is not the thing for me. And that's when I just decided to go heavy into making videos. I didn't think anything would really result from it, and it didn't for about 2.5 years. There were thrifters before, but they pretty much have fallen off during the time I started making thrift videos. And so basically there was a lane, and it took a lot of work and, like, dedication to, like, enter that lane. But in terms of motivation to, like, help my videos get to the next level, I would just look at people. I always look at people who are, like, great, like, teachers or, like, successful individuals. I study, like, success. So I looked a lot at like even like from actors such as like Will Smith to like business owners to just like entrepreneurs. I actually do read a good amount of books when I have time and watch a lot of interviews. So I really look up to like Kanye West just because I feel like a lot of people, as much as they hate him, he actually has like legitimate like ideas and like a lot of good things. Like there are people who don't vibe with him for like reasons like he might be cocky, he might be this, he might be that. But at the end of the day, I feel like he has really great ideas, and that's like kind of the thing that I look up to are people who like have that success and have those ideas and are going out to make them. In terms of just not giving a damn or a dang, Riff Raff, the rapper actually was like kind of taught me a little bit about marketing and also like about just not caring because he's like completely ridiculous. And obviously like I'm kind of from the same, I don't know what, like if he's from the same upbringing I am, but just growing up in a predominantly black community, I always got the thing where people are like, you're trying to be like black, or like kids would be like, what's your accent from? And like just people will always like give me that like that, I don't know, those challenges or that jargon. And so essentially, it was just about not like caring, and he honestly doesn't care what anyone else thinks, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do. And I look up to that in conjunction with all the like steps that great leaders and great like people that have accomplished like amazing things have done in the past. Steve Jobs, just big people like that. I just look at and like try and embody the steps that they took to succeed, but just apply them in my own personal like life and what I like to do. And in terms of art, I like American like traditional tattoo imagery, like traditional like imagery, like Americana imagery, and then also just like really ridiculous like flamboyant art as well. And I study Basquiat and Andy Warhol. I like them a lot just for building like a persona and also like making like cool art. So.
Very good, man. That's interesting you brought up the Riff Raff thing, because I was actually watching a Riff Raff video yesterday and 2 interviews before I went to bed, man. Riff Raff is actually, he is a out there kind of rapper lately. I mean, he makes, I'd say, decent music, but he's definitely flamboyant. He's definitely out there. He doesn't care what people think about him. He's a white guy, but he has like pink or blue hair, and he sometimes braids it. It's all weird, but recently he's starting to gain weight, and he wants to be a pro wrestler, but I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, pretty crazy kind of guy, man. I did not see him live when he came to South by Southwest last year. I really wish I had. He came into town, I think, just for one day.
He's the guy that you can pay to take him to prom, right?
That's the guy. That's the guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's $67,000 and something like that. It's some.
And they have to be 18 so you can take him to the hotel room afterwards.
Yeah, it's something crazy like that. But yeah, he made national news recently. Well, two reasons he made national news recently. One was he was tied to Katy Perry and he was dating her for a little bit, and then the second thing is he put a thing up saying like, I'll go to the prom with you for this kind of. I mean, I think it's an affordable chunk of money if you're rich. So anyway. But it was very, very weird. It's a very weird article. Anyway, so yeah, he's out there. He's definitely out there. So real quick, we are. Let me check the time here. 5 more minutes, Paul. I did have a question for you, but I almost forgot it. Dang, man. All right, never mind. So let's go into the comment feed.
Just real quick, hey Paul. Just my opinion on Kanye. I like him. He's very talented, but the guy cries too damn much. Cries about everything.
That's true, I guess.
Just my opinion on him.
He could be playing everybody. That's why he's doing that, just so you guys know.
Very talented, though.
Yeah, I'm not like a big fanboy or anything like that. I just really like what he like has to say in terms of like higher society versus lower society. I think it's like really interesting. A lot of things I look at is kind of like how to break that barrier of people thinking they're better than someone else based off the amount of like money they spend on consumer items. So that's kind of a big thing with me as well.
Yeah.
Is that one of the reasons why you thrift so much?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is like a lot of kids watch fashion-related videos, like a younger audience. It definitely appeals to a younger audience, and a lot of other YouTubers like are waiting in line for the Jordans or feeling like you have to like spend this much on like a high fashion designer piece. And with me, I essentially want to tell everyone like, no, forget all that. You can look fresh. I will be the example of how to look fresh and how to live a fun life while at the same time like getting an education and trying to just be my own person. And then looking just as good as someone who spends more money on things that they necessarily don't need when they could like reinvest that money in their education and their life and their business pursuits and whatever they want in traveling and experiences. So that's the biggest reason why I do it. I don't usually explicitly say things like that to my viewers, but I try and just like break it down through the way I live and the way I act and go about my life. So yeah.
Well, that's
I
awesome.
definitely get the sense of the sarcasm towards the high fashion from you. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just like annoying, man. I don't want people to think they need to drop like hundreds of dollars on a pair of shoes to feel better than the next person, or to even like get like a mate, whether that be male or female. You don't need to do that. Just be a cool person. People like you and mess with you. Like, that's the bottom line.
That is
Yep,
awesome.
that's true.
Yeah.
Paul, real quick, remember you saying earlier in the interview that you wanted to make your own clothing line, and surely by now you've brainstormed what the clothing line is going to be called. Have you thought about? I mean, what comes to your mind when you're like, I want it to be called this, or I've already tossed this up in the air? What are some of the names that you want to call your own clothing line in 5 years?
Well, it's a thought to have a clothing line. It's not something I'll like set in stone that I want to do, because a lot of people are trying to create their own clothing lines, and I feel like people do it without enough time and effort into things. So whether it be like me just launching a couple shirts just for like my viewers that have like ridiculous sayings on them, or just like really cool designs, that might be what I do at first, as opposed to launching a full line. Because if I launch something, I want it to have meaning, or like be really like sick in it, whatever like facet it is. But I don't necessarily like, I can't say right now what it would be, because I honestly haven't put enough thought and effort into it, and don't even know for sure if that's something I really want to do. So yeah, right now I can't really like speak on that too much.
Okay. One of the last things we want to cover real quick is touch on the notion of failure. Like, what it is to fail. Is it crucial to fail, and how do you bring in failure into your own life, and what do you do about it?
I don't even view things as failures personally. That's just the way I think. It's just like experience and knowledge. So I don't look at things as failures in my mind. I just think it's about patience, because no one might notice you for whatever you're doing, or like see that you're making like amazing product or whatever you're doing. People might not appreciate that immediately, but it's about just like waiting it out and consistently trying to like be the best you can be, and like doing whatever it takes to like make monumental achievements in whatever field you're in. Just putting forth the extra effort that people aren't like putting forth. So yeah, I don't view things as failures. That's just me personally.
Right. And talk about those monumental efforts. So when you say efforts over someone else, are you talking about serious efforts, right? I mean, you're going up against some of the. I mean, who is your competition in YouTube right now? And do you have someone that you look up to, or are you just kind of creating your own thing? You're like, this is the way I am, and who do you have that you're rivaling against in YouTube, or is there a rival in what you do? Because you do a very interesting type of video.
Yeah, I don't feel like there are rivals, because first of all, I make about 3 videos like a week, or 3 or 4, and those last less than an hour altogether, and people want to be entertained for longer than that, so of course I'm going to go elsewhere to watch more videos. So I don't necessarily see it as a cut and throat like field like that. I don't like think about like competition or trying to like crush people or like just overcome people like that. It's not kind of my mentality. But I pretty much wait. What else was your question?
The time that you involve in making your channel what it is, do you think that kind of time is definitely significant over somebody that just kind of like makes a regular YouTube channel? You definitely think you put in a little bit more work than most people, yes or no?
Well, yeah, like for a long time I made videos where no one noticed, and I just kept sticking it out, because I like knew that as long as I would. At that point, I was watching other content and seeing what they weren't doing, and how I could like take what people aren't doing and like use it for my own personal thing, or like making things that I want to see. That's mainly what it's about. It's not trying to see what the people want to see and conform to them. It's about seeing what you want to see. And if you're like a legitimate person, have like the best intentions, usually I believe like that people will mess with it, as long as like you kind of are like relatable and like people know what's up. So that's kind of like what I did. But yeah, even like things like I just try not to like get too drunk or like go out and drink all the time. I like having a good time, but of course in moderation. Because like at the same time, if you look at like people who just sit on their butts all day like watching TV, I'd rather like use that time to like work on something real, as opposed to that. So I mean, there's just little things like I like watching like society and people and looking at what everyone's doing, and then do the opposite if it's beneficial, like I said earlier.
I like that advice. That's good. I can echo that advice, because I've lived that life already till this day. So it's all about non-conforming. I always put stuff like little tiny tidbits of stuff on my Twitter page, but it's always like, if you've chosen the other path, you're already living, right? Like you're basically, that's what life is. And you don't have to, and richness to some people, is all about the money and the material things, but rich to me is about the experiences and how other people view you. Like, can you be can you be a person that influences other people, motivates them, puts money in their hand, converts them into getting off their couch and doing something actionable? That's really what rich is to me, is to be able to sit back and go, you know what, I did that. Like, that's what I did. And you can have I don't know, 100, 200, 300 grand in the bank when you're 60. You can have that feeling, or you can have tons of millions of dollars in the bank and have no feeling, right? You'll just be like, oh, I got a Lamborghini outside, a nice house, and a negative edge pool, and everyone hates me, and I have a crappy wife, right? So, like, that's one of those kind of things too. That's the flip side, and unfortunately, living here in Austin, you get to see those kind of people. That's the sad part, right?
Yeah.
You get to see these people that the town kind of looks up to in the real estate sense. They look up to these people that are big dogs, and I think under that there's a lot of unhappiness. I really do think there's nothing exciting to talk to the people about other than what they're investing in, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Hey, Paul,
Anyway.
what part of California did you come to?
Oh, when I was up there, I went to the Bay Area. I was in Sacramento, San Francisco.
You know what? Next time you're in town, you have to let me know. I live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out on the West Coast in the summer for sure.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. We have to meet up.
Hell yeah.
If you didn't know, Yong is flyer than a feather, or whatever you call it.
More crispy than a frisbee.
Lunch is on me, Paul. I'll buy you lunch.
All right, I got you, man. I got you.
All right, Paul. When he says that, you go for the lobster, and you go for the.
I will. I'm gonna go for the lobster. I'm gonna get a friggin' 8-course meal, whatever it takes. I'm gonna have the pig head with the apple in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Right, man. Go. You go 2 words, man. Beluga caviar. That's what you tell them. Beluga caviar. 1 pound. 1 pound and some crackers. That's what you tell them. All right, Paul. So we've come to the end of our show. We're 4 minutes over. We don't want to take any more of your RA time, brother. So we appreciate you stopping by, and we'll put all the links behind the scenes. We want all the links that you want us to promote. We'll help you any way that we can. But yeah, thanks for being on our show. Do you want to leave the viewers with anything else, like how they can get in touch with you on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? Go ahead and tell everyone how they can connect with you further from this point forward. Go ahead and tell them that.
So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, then follow me at Mr. Paul Cantu, MR, and then my name, Paul Cantu, and it's Cantu with a U at the end. If you guys want to watch my YouTube videos, if you guys aren't familiar, it's just Paul Cantu. All those links will be down below once again. I'm sorry if I sounded preachy in this video, but these are a lot of ideas that I have in my head that I usually don't talk about on my channel. So for anyone who actually made the transition over here, then you guys got a first-hand glimpse into the inner eye of Paul Cantu. And for everyone who's new to me and is your first time experiencing me, thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it, and it will mean the world to me if you guys would check out my videos. They're a bit more explicit, just FYI, so cover the ears of your young children or yourself if you're not into that. But thanks for the opportunity once again. I'm really glad I came on here. It's definitely a worthwhile experience. So thank you to all the homies in the chat.
All right, guys. So you heard it from us. We are out of here. We'll see you on the next Green Room Hangout. And if you do get a chance, make sure you like the video. And if you want to see another guest on our Green Room Hangout, or you have an idea that you want us to hash out, make sure to put that in the comment feed. Till then, we'll see you on Green Room Hangout number 49. Take it easy. See ya.